Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Dagnum here to do an art lesson with you. I really miss you. I hope you're staying creative. Today I want to teach you how to do texture turtles. So texture is the way something feels. If it's soft or bumpy, maybe it's hard. Well, we're going to make a texture turtle. So I drew one up here for you already. And the only thing you need for this is paper. It can be any color. I used blue, but it could be white. It could be a piece of notebook paper even. I also am going to use a marker, but you don't have to. You can use any type of crayon or even a pencil. And just a few old crayons that I have, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. But grab those things and then press play because we're going to start with the drawing of the turtle. So I'm going to start by just drawing the turtle's shell, which is just a curved, slightly curved line. And then I'm going to give him a big letter U for his back of his shell. Then I'm going to give him a head. If you'd like to draw a face on him, you can. I'm not going to because I want to talk to you about texture in a little bit, but you are more than welcome to. I'm also going to draw some feet, which are just little loops for the back feet, and some flippers. If this shape is too hard for you to draw, you can always do two more of these up here instead. And another one. So that's your turtle. And then it's up to you to be creative and give it a whole scene behind it. On mine, I did a beach floor, sand. You can do some bubbles, which are just circles. You can draw any type of fish life that you want to do. So here I have a fish, I have a jellyfish, and I even have a little crab. Seaweed, I'm just going to use some wavy lines at the bottom here. Maybe I do a fish here. Fish is just, you could keep it as simple as a circle with a triangle tail, triangle fins. You can do a circle for the eye with a big circle around it. I'm going to give my fish some fish lips. You can give it patterns. Here you can draw another fish, a squid, a shark even, a boat. I'm gonna do a hook coming down, I think. Maybe someone's up top there fishing. So once you have your drawing, you're ready for texture. Like I said, texture is the way something feels. I went on a texture hunt around my house and I found all different textures in just the things that are around me. Now, before you do this, you do need to ask Mom and Dad if it's okay to grab some of these things, as some of them might be fragile. A couple of the things I took would break pretty easily if I'm not too careful with them. But I found a colander, this colander here, just used for pasta. This one on mine is mesh, and it has this nice, bumpy, hard texture. I even took my son's dinosaur. This one's really bumpy on the side. I found this pot holder that I really liked. It's rubbery, but it's hard enough that I can go over top of it, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. As well as a few other things I'll show you. So to get this to work best, I use something called a naked crayon. A naked crayon is a crayon that doesn't have paper on it. So old crayons are ones that work best. If you don't already have the paper off, you can just sit and peel it off. I already had a bunch of crayons that didn't have paper on them, so I'm going to use those. And all you do is take any type of texture that you found on your texture hunt around your house, and you're going to slide it underneath your artwork. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the crayon on its side. Instead of putting it on the tippy top and drawing with it like I would normally do to fill in a picture, I'm going to turn the crayon on its side like it's laying down on the paper, and I'm going to rub it. So I'm going to press kind of hard, and the texture that's from the object that I chose is coming up on the turtle's shell. Now Now, if you color with the tippy top of it, it might not work too well. So again, make sure that your naked crayon is laying down. I can take another color if I want and do the same thing. Here I used this pot holder for the sand. I thought the sand here was a nice, made it look gritty. But I can also take, I've got this little, this was a cabinet liner that I found, and I can stick it under here and it'll give me a different type of texture. This is a different type of bumpy. If it's more of a curved shape like that colander I showed you, you might have to wrap your paper around it just gently. And I found, here's some other things. I found this frame, this picture frame I have at home. It's got this metal edge on it that's really bumpy and hard. You can slide that under and it makes a really neat texture. Let's see, I'm gonna do blue. This one almost looks like a wave. This might be good to do in the background. So I could fill in all the legs like that. I found another picture frame here that has this, it's a wooden frame that has this bumpy honeycomb looking texture. I even found one of my cooling racks for baking that I took and I put it underneath and I did his head here. So that's how I made those bumpy lines. And then one more thing that I found was this vase. This is what I meant about being careful because it can be really fragile. This is something that might break if I'm not careful. But I could slide this under my artwork and I can rub my crayon to make my bumpy texture. So I hope you have fun making your texture turtles and finding different textures around your houses. Here, a couple of the things I just colored in normal. I colored in by staying in the lines. You can press really hard with your crayon or you can press really soft depending on how dark you want the color to be. So I miss you all and I hope you are staying safe and healthy and creative. And I'll see you soon. Bye.